second. We're good, we're good. Good, right, we're good. So back to Brian. Right, so in other words, what we're saying is that we're not stressing certain words. We don't want them stressed. So could you say for me, I understand why I understand why Susan is scared of Luke. I understand why Susan is scared of Luke. Off you go. No, so look. So you are dividing into nuggets. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I completely get the intellectual nuggets. You're like, I understand. Then we've got an interrogative why. Put your copy down. This is not a relaxing situation. Okay? Not at all. So I understand why Susan's scared, or I'll deal with that, of Luke. Yeah, okay, so I can understand the division that you've made. Keep the energy at a nice, low pace. You go as slowly as you can so that you can, I don't know where the intellectual pauses are. Off you go. Do it again. I understand why Susan's scared of Luke. Now, pause. Now, did you do any Spanish at all? Do you speak any Spanish? I do. Yeah, so we've got the whole por qué thing going on. Pourquoi versus, yeah, parce que. All right, so I understand why. It's not parce que, it's pourquoi. Yeah, okay, so off you go. I understand why Susan's scared of Luke. Go. Good, now clean up a couple of the vowels. Can you take individually, and now we don't always want to be working like after the fact. Yeah, let's get the thought out first and then fuck around with it. So could you please say for me, I understand. Your job, Brian, is to amplify the vowels. What? Not the mouth. We don't open the mouth. Can you give me more vowels on I understand? Off you go. Nice. Why? Can you give me more vowels on why? No, that was all done with the mouth. That wasn't done with nasal vibration. The vibration in French is here, between here and here, and then on the chest and on the tummy. It's not around here. You went pourquoi. So you made that one loud by increasing the sharpness of the vowels there, of the consonants. Yeah, pourquoi. Yeah, we don't want this muscular stuff going on. Pourquoi, ouah, pourquoi. Off you go. So je comprends pourquoi. Go on one long go. Je comprends pourquoi. Nice. Now, I'd like you now to make that even faster. Keep your mouth as tightly closed as it was. Don't grip it, but keep it closed. But it's still a big ass sound because you are going to vibrate here and here. Ouais, je comprends pourquoi. So I always say, and this is what Susan did very well with, is the minute you give it humanity. So if you just make it neutral and a bit like lacking, it feels a bit odd. So if you basically just go, well, what's my story here? Well, yeah, I understand why. You know, sound chilled, sound relaxed. Ouais, je comprends pourquoi. Give me some nasality and make it louder for me, but I want the mouth nice and discreet. Off you go. Ouais, je comprends pourquoi. Off you go. That's nice. Okay, a little bit consonanty, but good. Right, okay. Good. Also, guys your age, how old are you? 20 what? Okay, screw you. So the fact is, guys your age don't speak that way. Yeah, I'm not in any way at all saying there's nothing wrong with speaking correctly, and I'm not in any way saying it's effeminate per se, but it's just there's a little bit of a masculine toxicity, but there's just a token thing. You've seen it yourself. I'm sure you're aware of male community. You know, you might go, oh, hi, yeah, my name's Brian, and I'm here today to do the internship. And you'd speak one way. And then you'd be kicking a ball around somewhere. You'd be like, yeah, dude, you okay? Yeah. And it just takes on this thing. France is a human, situation as much as America. People will do that. Kids your age will go, hey, what did you do last night? So we kind of got to make you socially appropriate for your age. We can't have you sound like a receptionist of 65. All right? So we just need this interest in vowels. Good. So, je comprends pourquoi Luke. What am I thinking? Oh, yeah, je comprends pourquoi Susan. So go again for me. How would you say Susan's afraid is a phrasal verb? I didn't ask for it separate in any way, shape, or form. Why is it separate now? I told you to do it in one go. Give me Susan's afraid. There we go. Susan a peur de Luc. The richness of the U, Luc, is not denigrated by the sharpness of the A. What we don't want is, okay, Luke wants speed and Luke wants a close mouth, so Susan a peur de Luc, in which case we lose all the vowel richness. So we want a long journey, joined up, aim long, play the end game, but with all these different nasal vibrations and chest vibrations coming in, but we don't stop. Good. I know it's a lot to do, but once you've got that, rather than it being a list of shit you've got to remember, it's a list of shit that will help your listening. Good. It's always interesting to work with somebody for the first time. It's always interesting to work with somebody for the first time. Off you go. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't prepare in advance. It's always interesting to work with someone for the first time. Go as slowly as necessary so that I cannot tell the intellectual. As I've often said, particularly to John and Susan, where the intellect is required is not where the vocal stress goes. Categorically, if you'd worked with me from the beginning, the first 6 lessons I teach are method 1, voice and present tense. Lesson 1, session 2, all the other tenses that there are apart from the subjunctive, but by definition they're not tenses. Session 3, pronouns. Session 4, subjunctive. Session 5, relative pronouns. Session 6, all the different ways of saying the word one in French. None of that shit from start to finish is ever stressed, with a few little exceptions, like a pronouns in certain imperative situations. None of those first 6 lessons, the main focus of your grammar, is not stressed. You could spend ages going, right, I've seen Luke's video, I'm going to do all the 10 tenses that I can think of, like je comprends, j'ai compris, j'avais compris, j'aurais compris, you know, subjunctive, qu'il ait compris, whatever. None of that gets stressed vocally. You stress the object or something. So don't let me hear in your story what is going on. You're also a little bit of a people pleaser that I like very much. You're clearly a nice young man. You're clearly from a nice background. You know, you're socially responsible and pleasant, but you kind of want to do the whole, did you see what I just did there for you, Luke? Did you see that work I just did for you? That's not an appropriate narrative. You're a guy who's talking to me in French. I don't need you to go, did you see I just pulled that shit off for you, Luke? I'll understand it. It's my language. Don't tell me that in your voice. Yeah, don't have that narrative between us. So go again. Do me another sentence. It's always interesting to work with somebody for the first time. Go again, smoothly, but with lots of vibration. Good. Now, slow down. I don't want this Russian quality of jip, 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 jip. Give me a surname. What's your surname? If you don't want to say it out loud, invent a surname. Just give me a surname, any old surname. Okay, nice name. Right. Did you go Copeland? No. But so you said it in one go. Why? Give me a word. Give me quite a long word. Say, what do we always joke about in England? Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Yeah, which is people who are against the disestablishment of the church at a certain point. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. So say for me, give me the word for availability in French. Disponibilité. Now, that is disponibilité. That's 6 syllables. You've taken pauses today with fewer than 6 syllables. And do you understand what I'm saying? Why did you say disponibilité in one damn go? Because your brain said it was one word. So think of each sentence as one word. Mr. Say for me, I'm happy to see you. You might not be. You might be thinking, oh my God, he's an absolute demon. But say for me, I'm happy to see you. Say for me, I'm happy to see you. Yes, you do. How do you say I'm happy? So there you freaking go. So at least give me something, okay? Say for me, to see. What's the verb to see? Good lad. Did it vibrate in the way that you just said it? That's it. Don't vibrate it with the mouth. Wow. Yeah, okay. Lovely. What's the pronoun required, the preposition required, the pronoun required in to see you? What's going before the voir, to see you? Excuse me, where is that? Okay, so give me another word with the E in it. What's the word for the on its own? What's the masculine word for the? Good. Now don't, half of that was the L for you. The majority of that even was the consonant. What on its own is the vowel E? How do I pronounce that on its own? Stop stabbing me. Give me the warmth of the vibration. Say Swap the sound from m at the beginning and give me the one that goes there. Listen, learn to listen. Linguists listen. Swap it for a m. I said. That's it. Vibrate m. Good. So now swap it for a t, which is the one I wanted. So give me the sound off you go. No. That's it. Did you hear yours? It was just a ricochet. All right. So now say for me te voir. Te voir. That's it. Voir, voir. Keep your mouth closed. Okay. Lovely. You can eat in French. You can't eat and speak in English, but you can in French. Okay. So say for me. Now, what grammatically is going to go between je suis content, blank, te voir? What do I need to get my ass into an infinitive if the previous word is not a verb? What do I need to do there? What do we use? No. That would be if the previous verb, that would then be if you were sort of like, I am happy that Brian understands. Moi, je suis content que Brian comprenne, which in that event, not always with a cut in the middle, in that event would be subjunctive. What a standard do we need if or a? Yeah, it depends on the situation. Or as a freaking role, a preposition. So the point is, I'm happy. What kind of a word is happy? It is indeed. To speak. What kind of a word is to speak? It's an infinitive of a verb. That's right. Infinitives don't just come along out of nowhere in the middle of a sentence. You can start a sentence with it. To speak French or speaking French is a pleasure. You know, parler en français, c'est un plaisir. You can do that. You know, you can end a clause with it. I'm going to speak. Je vais parler. Je veux parler. Je peux parler. Je sais parler. But all of a sudden, it's like I'm really happy to speak to Brian. If I suddenly was like, whoa, dude, what got me up there? What got me in my infinitive? What do I need before an infinitive? Then I need a preposition. And this is a massive generalization, but it's pretty good, is if you're then going to carry on with the sentence, like as in I'm happy to speak with Brian, it'll tend to be a de. I call it the trampoline preposition, boing, de. Okay. If it's kind of stopping there with the infinitive, often it will be an a. Like facile à ouvrir. Yeah, facile à ouvrir. Okay, lovely. So good. So say for me, I'm happy to see you.
Je suis content de te voir.
Don't show me where the pauses were. Mr. and Mrs. They sound like right Ukrainians. Say for me, Mr. and Mrs. Je suis content de te voir. That's their whole damn surname. Let me hear it. Je suis content de te voir.
Je suis content de te voir.
That's better, but vibrate for me now. Close your mouth. Less. Throw it away. Throw it away. It's verbal diarrhea. French is throw it away. Je suis content de te voir. Go on. Je suis content de te voir.
Je suis content de te voir.
No, there's too much gripping with it. Okay. Je suis content. Oh, I like this light. My teeth look quite light. Haven't had them whitened since COVID, but yeah, I like Gabby's lamp. It works quite well. Good. Je suis content de te voir. Good. Lovely. Next sentence. So I know it seems like I'm being the right meanie, but do you see what we want? We don't want a sentence that is less than what your thought is. We don't want a sentence where you take a pause in. I'm not saying to remember a word in standard English, you yourself wouldn't take a pause. You might go, so when I was in my first semester, we did, what was it called? Yeah, that's fine. That's normal. That is computational pausing. That is like, I'm trying to think of what the hell I'm actually saying. That's fine. That's the human story. But don't practice that from the beginning. Why? Because you won't get the muscle memory that gets you into doing all kinds of clever stuff. The minute we solve people's voices, you can lay on the French really thickly. Like with Susan, for example, you solve the voice, you solve the grammar, and you memorize so much stuff faster. Do one more for me. This is really interesting. Luke, I will be here every week. I will be here every week after. Let's just be devil's advocate. I will be here every week after finishing Christmas. I will be here every week after finishing Christmas.
Je serai ici chaque semaine.
Don't pop a pause in. Look. Linguists listen. Okay? I don't have to spank your little asses because you don't listen. Listen. I told you two choices. First choice, keep the previous damn word going. Second choice, say How can I make it more obvious to you? Do not lift, you won't remember this, needles on vinyl. Don't lift the needle off the record. There needs to be constant sound. Yeah, it can be an it can be the previous word. Don't think in silence. Don't. 3 reasons why. Reason number 1, it will slow you down when someone speaks to you and they don't put pauses in. It is lazy. It is you stopping. I know you're not lazy. You're a good kid, but you understand what I'm saying. It is intellectually lazy because you honestly are buying yourself. It's like not running for the length of time that you need to train for. Point number 2, you're not then going to get the muscle memory of how that all links. When you start using this method, I'm going to warn you, Susan went through it, everybody goes through it. You will start having an interim period where false friends keep coming out. Your brain will be like, oh yeah, oh damn, why did I say that? And I'll be like, I'm glad you said that. What you've just said is good French, but it's not what I want now. So you need to be able to join up your entire thought so that you realize what goes in one place and what goes in another place. You don't separate the words within your thought. If your thought is, why is Luke wearing it? Why is Luke wearing it? As in, Luke's got a leather jacket on, why is Luke wearing it? That's your thought fine. The question you put. If your thought is, why is Luke wearing a leather jacket? Because I can see that he's inside a house. He was just outside. Tu vois, pourquoi est-ce qu'il porte un blouson en cuir? Parce que tu vois, je vois bien qu'il est à l'intérieur d'une maison. That might be your thought. So it doesn't matter what your thought is. It doesn't matter how quickly we go. For the moment, I don't want you to practice anything with a pause. You take as long as you want to find the next word. You can take 7 seconds of that's socially acceptable in France. I promise. All right. Do you understand what your mission is? Good. I'll be on you. I'll be whatever. So finish for me quickly then, because we haven't finished that last sentence. What should I say? I will do, let's change it. I will do these classes after I finished my Christmas. I will do these classes after I finish my Christmas. Don't pause me. Up to 7 seconds of or the previous word. Don't pause me. Off you go. Number 1 was pauses. Number 2, this is what's nice when somebody's new. You can prescriptively give them videos. Just go to my channel, go to YouTube, please subscribe, type after, or after for some people, or after for other people, and ifter if you're South African, and basically it will give you this basic structure. After and then a noun, après, same as avant, so before Christmas, après Noël, avant Noël. After and then the same dude doing something on both sides. So after, so before Brian eats, he washes his hands, say yes. After Brian eats, he offers to clear the table, say yes. So the fact is, that's the same guy. So, I'll be in touch, whatever, after Christmas. That is going to use the infinitive. So après avoir plus past tense, there's the infinitive on avoir, or avant de, there's the infinitive there. So in other words, if it's the same guy, yep. Susie felt better after necking, a glass of wine. She bloody deserved it. So Susie did the necking of the wine. Susie felt better. Après avoir bu un verre de vin, Susie se sentait beaucoup, well, in that case, Susie s'est sentie. That would be an action. So Susie s'est sentie. But the point is, it's the same person. If it's like, I will do your classes after you finish Christmas, different person, that's when your après que and your avant que shit kick in, all right? So prescriptively, you've got 2 sections of videos I want you to watch. One is type in accent trick onto my YouTube channel, and the video will come up and it will tell you, it'll be the video that talks about this vibration trick. Yeah, I think a keyword, a tagline is also vibration. I'm not sure, but it should come up. If you can't find it, Susan will give you my WhatsApp. Just WhatsApp me and ask. The next thing I want you to do is to watch the after video, and properly. My definition, you're a nice person, but you've got college brain, which is you just turn up at a seminar with a few choice words to prove to me that you've done the homework. And you guys always think that cuts it. I don't actually care. I just want you to have the material that's in the video. So don't just drop in. Susan's guilty of it as well. Seriously, massively, but not anymore. Not anymore. At first, it's like, a few choice quotes to convince you that I've watched the video. And she may well have done. But I'll be like, what is the information from this? What is the point of this? My system is après noun, après que, different person, après infinitive, same person. Turn up with that knowledge. That's what I need. If you watch the video once, it makes sense to you, bingo. If you need to watch it 30 times, fine, watch it 30 times. Final comment, any shit you say, any video you watch, an example of anything you do, what are you going to do, Brian? You're going to say it with your mouth open. I don't mean with your mouth big open. I mean as in you're going to say it out loud. Every single thing we are doing is about muscle memory. Your brain, when you finally reached a plateau of fluency, will be thinking about what you're trying to say. That is what you use your brain for, to think, how am I going to best answer this question? Not how do I say that linguistically. That goes into muscle memory. That goes into the language center. Totally different parts of the brain, different neurological pathways, all right? You've got your homework. I don't hear any separate clause work. Don't hear any pauses. Take as long as you want. Go as slowly as you want. I want to hear all these vibrations in next time I work with you. Agreed?
Agreed.
Good. You've got the foundation for a really, really nice French. Don't get me wrong, but you've just gone to plateau and flatline. Don't compare yourself to other people in your class or that have ever been at high school. Don't be like, oh, you know, big fish, small pond. Compare yourself to other people who are fluent French speakers who are foreign. I see zero obstacle. I see zero obstacle, but you've got to completely stop going, yeah, that sounded pretty good. It sounded pretty good compared to a non-French speaker, but you set your bar high, young man. You've more than got the capability. You're just about to ask me something and I've got to move on. What are you about to say?
How would you say that sentence correctly in French? I will do these classes after Christmas.
So you tell me then. So if it's I will do, and but listen, you tell me. If it's I will do these classes after I finish Christmas, is it the same person or different people doing those actions?
The same subject.
So what did I say when it's the same person using infinitive? Yeah, après avoir, or avant de plus infinitive, right? Same person, infinitive, different person, après que, or avant que type subject. So for example, ouais, je ferai ces cours après avoir fini. So je ferai ces cours après avoir fini Noël. Yeah, or après Noël. I'm not saying you have to do the other one. Okay, lovely. Yeah, or après que Noël aura fini, or whatever, you know, whatever. If you're getting after Christmas is finished, that's fine. Good, lovely, great. Let's go to John, who I haven't seen in a wee while, because he's been busy with his job. I told you what his job really was. Good. Yeah. Oh, I can hear those Ukrainian girls in crates begging to be freed. Lovely. They're known as medals. Please, John, let us out. Lovely. So say for me, I'm just popping the charger in so we don't lose power. One second. Right. Oh, so say for me, Luke, it's Christmas and I'm very busy. Lovely. Can I have a link between très and occupé? Lovely. Okay. Good. But I am happy to have some work, I suppose. I'm happy to have some work, I suppose. Pause. Now I'm loving the knowledge of the de. So what your brain just did was interesting. You knew de was necessary there. You had a musical echo of avoir, and the collision of the two came up with devoir, which is another verb, and that sounded correct to you. Devoir. So this is good music in French. Je suis content de voir. I'm happy to see. This is good music in French. Je suis content d'avoir. I'm happy to have. This is good music in French. I'm happy to have to. Je suis content de devoir. Whatever. So it's I'm happy to have. What's the verb to have? What's the de up its ass? Good. Up you go. I'm happy to have.
Je suis content de voir.
Lots of nice smooth mouth. Lots of work. Lovely. Spell for me the second half of beaucoup. So after the B-E-A-U, how do we spell? Go on.
C-O-U-P.
Lovely. And what vowels have we got in the middle of O-U then? Ooh, beaucoup. Yeah, it's a busier word than we've got. Oh, ooh, give me the vowel journey. Oh, nice. Richer on the ooh, beaucoup. It's one of those words which is just culturally you're aware of. Like, it's like everybody knows, you know, arrivederci, everybody knows willkommen, everybody knows, you know, sayonara. It's like one of those words that everybody knows, but honestly, it needs to be a bit richer. Beaucoup. Lovely. Lovely. So, je suis content d'avoir beaucoup de travail. How would you say I suppose? I suppose. Je suis. Same word. Je suis. Same word as suppose. Je suppose. Spell it for me. Suppose in English. S. What's the second letter?
S-U.
Nice. How do you pronounce T-U, John? T-U is pronounced T-U, not T-E. No, T-U, as in you speak. That's it. So can you now make your suppose rhyme with that? Say suppose. That's nice, all right? Side note, guys, if we're saying suppose as in, oh, damn, I was supposed to meet John, as in I was meant to, that is the word censé. Yeah, je suis censé. Yeah, je suis censé voir John. That's different, okay? Good. My wife and I, we are ready for Christmas. My wife and I, you like, Luke, we haven't done anything. We don't stop working till Christmas Eve. We'll just figure it out then. But let's just lie. So say for me, Luke, my wife and I, we are ready for Christmas.
Ma femme et moi,
I like the carrying on of the previous word. Good.
Nous sommes prêts pour Noël.
Lovely. Now, you've got a couple of things in your mouth. Firstly, Brian presumably is still listening. Yeah, good. So, Brian, the reason that we run things is so that when you can't remember the next word, your mouth will remember it. Your muscle memory will remember it. So, in other words, once you've got it correctly, go again. Nous sommes. You're much less likely to forget it the following time. So, ma femme et moi, now, prête, you will be familiar with as in expressions like prêt à partir or prêt à manger, the sandwich chain. But the fact is, a dude is prêt and a woman is prête. All right. If you're ready to do something, it will become prêta because the next word will be the preposition à. But as a guy, okay, Luke, I'm ready. Je suis prêt. Okay. So Susan and I, we are ready for Christmas.
Nous sommes prêts pour Noël.
That's it. Okay. On est prêt pour Noël. Nous sommes prêts pour Noël. Okay. I have bought lots of presents. The purpose of Christmas is the celebration of the birth of our Savior, but we all like things. So say for me, I have bought lots of presents.
J'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux.
Lovely. Go again and you tell me which words are the interesting words there. Only pick a maximum of one king, one queen. I don't need that many more. In fact, to be honest with you, a sentence of that length as a man would normally only have one interesting word in it. So what is... Well, you tell me. Okay, let me make this point psychologically. If you're stressing a verb in the middle, it's normally like I bought lots of presents because normally, Luke, I steal lots of presents. That would be kind of like the focus. I bought lots of presents, as opposed to I bought lots of presents. So j'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux. I personally would stress beaucoup. Some people might stress cadeaux. J'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux. Okay, whatever, fine. But what we don't want is j'ai being stressed. We don't want de being stressed. So you just find something for me. In other words, this is a trick that is very good for male speakers. It's very, very good for male speakers or people who have to deal with French male speakers. Can you say the whole thing with no king and queen? Can you go, j'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux? Which, in other words, say it like a robot with no interest. J'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux. That's it. Now, isn't that revealing? Because what it does is it shows how much we rely on going up with an interesting word to buy our asses a little bit of time. So when we don't have any up interesting words, which we need to be interesting, otherwise we're boring and a little bit monotone, notice how when you say it all on the flat way, so if you were somebody like Brian that was really trying to get used to going from one end of a sentence to another, this method would be quite good. So this is a false speech method. We don't speak like this, but it's very good to get your ear used to hearing when guys go, ouais, je suis content de voir parce qu'effectivement, you're like, I'm getting used to hearing all those words with no interest. So could you just say for me, so this is not how one speaks, but could you just say, j'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux, all on the same, in omni patris feliz, like j'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux, go on. That's it. Now, keep it on the same note, but get the rhythm in order so we don't stress it. J'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux. Nice, that's it. And it forces you to train. It's like somebody after an injury getting on a treadmill. They wouldn't want to go out and run, but they can hold the side of the treadmill and they can run with the treadmill. So it's like it's a safe place for you to practice. Can I say that crap that quickly in my mouth? Obviously, I don't need to do that all the whole time. I don't need to be j'ai acheté beaucoup de cadeaux because it's a bit soulless, but it's a nice thing to do. Good. Lovely. How would you say I bought myself something fantastic? I bought myself something fantastic. I always buy myself a Christmas present. That way I'm never disappointed. So I'll be like, oh, look, Joe Malone, lime, basil and mandarin. It's what I've always wanted. Oh yeah, because I bought myself it. Yeah. Off you go. So I bought myself something fantastic. Pause. I'm loving that you remembered the je me. I'm loving that you remembered the je me. But if it's je me, it is reflexive. What, therefore, is the auxiliary verb we use? What verb do we use? Say, okay, John. No, not if it, no. Never. If it's reflexive, never. That's the fella. Automatically. Pardon me, John, interrupting. What system do we use? What's it called with my method when you have two Thank you. I couldn't even ask the question, and thank you. I couldn't even get the question out, and you knew the answer. Now that's well trained. Lovely. So je me suis, tu t'es, il s'est, nous nous sommes, vous vous êtes, ils se sont. Let me explain a subtle mental difference that happened there. If I'd said to John, I got washed, John would have said, je me suis lavé. If I'd said to John, I, massage myself, John might have gone, je me suis massé, je me suis levé, je me suis réveillé, because in those sentences, John is, yes, it's direct, but John is also the focus. In I bought myself something fantastic, John's thinking in his mind, well, the something fantastic is what got bought there. So that pulls him away from the reflexive. I'll say this as simply as I can. Reflexive can be direct or indirect. You can do something to yourself, or you can do something for yourself with it then having another object in the sentence, right? So say for me, I bought myself something fantastic. Off you go. There's only one error. What comes between quelque chose and fantastique? What always follows a quelque chose if there's that's it. Pause. Yes, but you basically, Brian's corrosive college boy little thing is I mean, it's toxic. It's beautiful, it's endearing, but it's toxic. You want to go, duh. Did you see what I did there, Luke? That's not a muscle memory that you will ever call upon. You're never going to go quelque chose de fantastique. So yes, is it correct? Yes. Did you stress the word that I want to hear from you intellectually? Yes. Is that how I'd say go? Je me suis acheté quelque chose de fantastique. Well, je me suis acheté quelque chose de fantastique. You go.
Je me suis acheté quelque chose de fantastique.
Lovely. Careful, it's fan, not fan. It's fantastique. Yeah. Okay. Southern accents might go a little bit sharper, but yeah. Now, let me make it really clear, particularly for Brian and people that are just joining us. It doesn't need to be quick to be accomplished. It's kind of more impressive if somebody gets the vowels in place and somebody gets the rhythm in place. That's much more. Je me suis acheté quelque chose de fantastique. That to me sounds more French than going really quickly and it not having the right rhythm. Okay, good. Tomorrow I will. Calling all cars, not going to, I will. Tomorrow I will take the train. I'm going to my grandma's house. She's obviously not there. I'm very much aware of that. Don't be like, did his grandma not pass away? Yeah, but the house is empty. So you'll be like, Luke, have you lost it? Yeah, I'm going there. So I will. So tomorrow I will take the train. I'm going in English present tense. That's all I'm going to say. In English present tense, I'm going to my grandma's house. So tomorrow I will take the train. Start with that. Pause. So basically, when you use a, it's fine. So à la maison de ma grand-mère. When you share, it's fine. Chez ma grand-mère. You can't do both. You've got to pick. However, notice your muscle memory. Prendra was fine, but I said go across the whole thing. So in isolation to you for a moment. I mean, don't get me wrong. You corrected it beautifully, but prendra sounded right to you on its own. No word on its own should sound right to you unless it's the word oui or non. Yeah, or certainement, or a word that literally exists on its own. So don't ever say prendra on its own, because you just can't say it on its own. So the danger there, I mean, yes, you checked it, but you checked it with this part of the brain, the clever part, rather than just the muscle memory part. So only ever say a whole sentence. By all means, work it out, then go back. Only ever say a whole sentence, because your brain will go, je prendra sounds wrong. All right, so secondly, I will take the train, and again, I'm going to my grandma's house. So give me, I will take the train. I'm going to. What time going? But look, no, so not I'm going to take, just literally, how do you say I'm going on its own? You've said it already. Good. Now, in English, please notice, what did I say? My stress was, I'm going to my grandma's house. What tense in English is I am going? What tense is that? It is indeed, because we use the present to talk about plans that we've made. So plans that we've made, this is basically, so this is a bit more advanced here, but this is how I want you guys to think. So when you first get going, you go, okay, right, Luke's explained this, I understand. I'm gonna do something in English. is going to use the verb to go plus the infinitive. So John says, I'm going to eat, je vais manger. John says, I will eat, je mangerai. Je mangerai, whatever's going on. Okay. And that's the way to begin. Then when people get a bit more advanced, I say, stop using the English to find it. If you're giving me data, same as in English, if you're giving me important information or some slightly more factual, we'll use the will. If you're talking to me about your plans, we'll use will. Okay? So Susan's going to be here in a few minutes. That's a plan. Yeah. Susan will start back in the new year. I mean, there's obviously times you can use both. Oh yeah, Susan's going to get back. Susan's going to work from the so-and-so. When Susan working? Oh well, Susan will be back at work then, so it'll be easy for me to do. You know, if you're kind of talking in an information relay way, notice that we tend to use will more, right? So that means like use the re, ra, ra. So you can make that choice without even listening to the English. So if we're talking about plans, hey, so next year hopefully we're all going together to Besançon. Yeah, ouais, on va tous aller à Besançon. The train will leave at 4 o'clock, whatever. Le train partira à 16 heures. We can tend to use the will. However, there's one exception to that rule that I always stress. So what I'm saying then is will versus gonna. I mean, I'm obviously saying that colloquially. We obviously say going to. The exception to the rule is that in English, there's a lot of times where we say present tense and we are talking about the future. Now, this is terribly avant-garde. But in French, do you know what tense we like to use to talk about the future? The future. I mean, do you know what I mean? So there might be times where you're like, oh, John is starting a new job in whatever, February. Fine. French would prefer John will start a new job in February. Yeah? Okay? Often after things like when. So, for example, when you come, so if it's generally in this present period of time, every week when you come, I'm always happy to see you. If it's next week, when you come, can you bring a bottle of water with you or something? Because no one else here drinks it. We just drink neat vodka, whatever. That's different, isn't it? So that when in French will more than likely be the future. Susan and other Spanish speakers, I don't know Brian's level, that in Spanish would be like, would be subjunctive. Because it's like it's not the same feeling of like when you do something, like as in right now, when you do something, cuando haces, next week, when you do something, cuando hagas. That's how it does it in Spanish. In French, we just use the future a lot of the time. So be mindful of that. That's the only exception to the future. Good. Next one, John. I have chosen what I'm going to eat. I have chosen what I'm going to eat. And I'm very happy with my decision, says John. I have chosen what I'm going to eat, and I'm very happy with my decision. Careful, pause, listen. Choisir is a gorgeous bit of muscle memory. Have you heard it after j'ai? What have you heard after j'ai? That's it. That's it. What I'm going to eat. What when it's not a question? That's it. So listen to Antiluki, people. If it's what and it's not a question, as a freaking general rule, it will have the CE in it. So ce qui versus ce que versus ce à quoi versus ce dont, but it will generally have the ce in it. So I've chosen, j'ai choisi ce que, what I'm going to eat. So breathe into it. Nice speed, nice smooth mouth, nice dropped palate. That was lovely. Now give it me in one go. Wait, now give me a bit of humanity. If you don't give it some story, it becomes harder. And it goes back to being our man method that I told you to practice. Yeah, j'ai choisi ce que je vais manger, which is a little bit difficult. So say to me, where j'ai choisi ce que je vais manger? Hey, John, do you guys know what you're having yet? Where j'ai choisi ce que je vais manger? Give me a bit of human story. It could be, oh, I've chosen what I'm going to eat. I'm on a Susan's got me on this low sodium plan. So I've chosen what I've got. I mean, I don't know, whatever the story is, but just give me some humanity. All in one go, John. No stopping. J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger. J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger. Go. Good. Now you fought over the sucker hurdle, which is the one to get over, and you made it over. Well done, you. And then you needed a. Yeah. Do you understand? That's good. Keep pushing. Go. J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger. Whatever you do, keep pushing. Well done for getting over the sucker hurdle. You didn't take an obvious basic bitch pause in the obvious basic bitch place, but don't have a pause. Because in English, you wouldn't go, I've chosen what I'm going to eat. You just wouldn't do that. J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger. Go. Almost. J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger. Notice when doing the joined thing, your mouth will be vulnerable to spoonerisms. You'll be vulnerable. You'll be vulnerable to swapping shiz round. J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger. Off you go.
J'ai choisi ce que je vais manger.
Good. Hey, Dan Didno is here. Dan, I got your comment about your family, so please know that you're in my thoughts. That was really sweet of you to write that, but I do understand what you were trying to say. Dan, by all means, join us on the Zoom. Good job. Well done. Last sentence for John. Dan left a message yesterday. Dan left a message yesterday.
What's the word for to leave?
Now, I'm loving that you didn't. Yes. Yeah, but let's try a little bit of fake it till you make it. Just have a go. I'll correct it if it's wrong, but just you'd have been fine there. Yesterday, yeah. Yeah, yesterday, yeah. Okay. Now, I'm not going to correct it because it's politically inappropriate to correct it, but you're starting to take on some southern vowels in French, but it kind of works given, the whole Atlanta thing in America. So it's kind of like, it's like you're itching to be southern. So in other words, I don't mind demain rather than demain. I don't mind bien rather than, bien. I don't mind some of the stuff you're doing. Just be careful on some of the vowels where it has to be rich, like que and je, that can't go up. So I don't mind you developing like a kind of southern accent. It's kind of cute. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's great. I don't know if you've got anybody you listen to who's from that, or it might just be what suits your mouth. Interesting. But fine, but just don't make it all up in the air. Good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Right, let's see who we've got. So, no, oh, bless your heart. So let's go to, so Susan, I've got more than likely this week. John, let's go to Susie. So Susie. And then I'll come back to Susan if she's still there when I've done Susie. So Susie, as in Susie, are you there?
Yeah.
Good. Luke, you can see my bed. Luke, you can see my bed.
Luc, tu peux voir mon lit.
Good. At your level now, you will also, and don't lose it, you will come across this arriver à shit. You will, like, if it's something you can do just right now, tu arrives à voir mon lit, mais tu peux voir mon lit, fine, okay. Lovely. It's not the first time. It's not the first time.
C'est pas la première fois.
Nice rhythm, because the king of that sentence was definitely pas. I don't like saying king and queen because it's a stupid thing to say, because it's like man, woman, but you understand the point. The number one was pas. The number two was la première fois. So it wasn't boring on the rest of the sentence. So it wasn't like, ce n'est pas la première fois. But it was, ce n'est pas la première fois. So première fois was still interesting, but it wasn't as interesting as pas. That's authentic as fuck. Well done. Okay. The last time my mom was here, no, so the last time, comma, my mom was here, I needed to do it quietly. The last time my mom was here, I needed to do it quietly.
Le dernier fois, mon maman.
Now, your mom is very female. I've seen her. So my mom was here. So,
ma mère.
That's it. That's it. Now, you tried to go with maman. This is known as, it's a bit hipster. There are some parts of France which will say maman instead of mère. So here's the general lowdown. If you say if you are talking about your mom, or mum, or whatever people say, or mam, or mama, whatever, or adopted gender non-binary legal guardian. If you are talking about, or as my daughter refers to her mother, shit-faced evil motherfucker is the term we've agreed on. Okay, so basically, if you're talking about your mother to her face, maman, about her, ma mère. Some places in France will use maman even if they're talking about their mother, and it will even be seen as a little bit rude to say ma mère rather than ma maman. But other places in France think that's ridiculous, and it's actually a kind of, it's known as an hypercorrection petit bourgeoise. It's known as a little bourgeois hypercorrection. It's a bit hipster. So in other words, ma mère when not talking to her, ma maman when talking at her. That makes sense. Yeah, like salut maman. Great. So the last time, la dernière fois, ma mum was there, ma mère était là. I needed to be quiet.
J'avais besoin.
Good. Now I'm loving the choice of j'avais besoin, because j'avais besoin. Give me I needed to not make lots of noise. I needed to not make lots of noise.
J'avais besoin.
So pause. This is where I want you to stop using brain and use mouth. Say j'avais besoin quickly, and what word comes next? J'avais besoin. What? Just say it quickly, and what word comes next? J'avais besoin.
J'avais besoin d'être.
Lovely. So we know that there's a do next. Well done. That came from muscle memory, not there. That's what we want. Good. What's the verb to make or to do? But what form of it is going to come after do? If I've said I'm happy to do, where je suis content de, what's the verb for do that I'm going to use there? Je suis content de. Spot on. So we're using infinitive. Side note, if you need to use this part of the brain rather than the muscle memory, after a de, you are always going to get an infinitive. After an a, you're always going to get an infinitive. After a pour, you're always going to get an infinitive. After any preposition, right? So je suis content, j'avais besoin de faire. What would be I needed to not make? Notice, this is a bit niche and a bit difficult, but I'm not saying I didn't need to make. You're not saying je n'avais pas besoin de faire. You're saying I needed to not make. What are you going to do there? J'avais besoin de. No. So does that de ne pas faire? So in other words, this is quite niche. I'm going to pop a light on. If you are making your infinitive negative, you pop the ne and the pas, the ne and the jamais, the ne and the rien together. Yeah? So say for me, Susie, I'm happy to eat. Say for me, I'm happy to eat. God knows you and I are. So say for me, I'm happy to eat.
Je suis content de manger.
Gorgeous. Tense choice. Perfect. Say for me, I'm happy to not eat. I have never said that in my entire life, and I include 10 years dancing professionally. So for me, I'm happy to not eat.
Je suis content de ne pas.
Nice rhythm. De ne pas. Nice, gorgeous rhythm. De ne pas manger. So the manger will still be there. How would you say I'm happy to not eat it? That looks revoltingly. I'm happy to not eat it. So say for me normally, I'm happy. Just say for me again, I'm happy to eat. Go back to normal. I'm happy to eat.
Je suis content de manger.
Nice rhythm. How would you say I'm happy to eat it? Assume it's a masculine thing. How would you say I'm happy to eat it? Gorgeous rhythm. Je suis content de le manger. So can you now keep your... Oh, and Luke said, let there be light. And there was light. And it was good. Yeah, so how would you say I'm happy to not eat it? Oh, I'm happy to not eat it. So in other words, combining the two things we've just done.
Je suis content de ne pas le manger.
Flawless. All right. So what we've learned from that is ne and pas, ne and jamais. Now you might go, okay, but Luke, I can hear something going on there. So you're using your ne. I often say don't use the ne. So Susie, without using the ne, if it's that's okay. Could you say I'm drinking? Say for me, how do you say I'm drinking?
Je bois.
I'm not drinking this evening. Without the ne. How do you say I'm not drinking this evening?
Je ne pas boire.
Just literally, I'm not drinking.
Je bois pas.
That's it. So it's fine. It is not formally correct, but neither is gonna. Neither, you know, but it's completely fine to say, Luke, remove your jacket. My gosh, male menopause. It's playing with my temperatures. 1 second. Je suis content de ne... I'm happy to never go out. You know, I'm just so happy in the house. I've got, you know, all of Gabby's prisoners to play with. How do you say I'm happy to go out?
Je suis content d'aller.
I'm really sorry, but that daft little thing has just come in. She's bought one of her gourds.
I've just assembled one.
She's just assembled one of her new office chairs, and she's just.
Come and join us.
She's just look at her. She's swirling around on a.
I've just been making a chair, Susan.
She's swirling backwards and forwards.
Like comfortable and you're dressing out. Look at you.
Yeah. She's been on all fours painting skirting. She deserves a break. So say for me, Susie, so say for me, I'm happy to go out. Give me the normal, I'm happy to go out.
Je suis contente d'aller.
To go out,
De sortir.
Lovely, go again.
Je suis contente de sortir.
Now, hypothetically, notice the difference. I'm not happy to go out. So this one you can make negative in the normal way. How do you say I'm not happy to go out?
Je suis pas content.
I am not happy, je suis.
Je suis pas content.
That's it, de sortir.
Sortir.
That's it. Notice the difference between, well, I'm not happy to go out. I said we were going to stay in tonight. What's going on? Well, she wants to go. All right, fine, it's not it. Okay. Je suis pas content de sortir. What would be the difference? I'm happy to not go out, which means I'm happy to not go out. Do you see the subtle difference in English? So say for me, I'm happy to not go out.
Je suis content de sortir.
What did we do when we... That's it. So in other words, to put it in this part of the brain rather than the language part of the brain, you need a bit of a formula. So the formula is, if you are making an infinitive negative, the ingredients come together. Yeah? Okay. Good. What would be I'm happy to never go out? I'm happy to never go out. I'm just fine at home.
Je suis content de jamais sortir.
And what did I say I like to include? De ne jamais sortir. So you know me, I'm the massive advocate. I'm a massive advocate of, look, drop the no, fine. You come in, tu viens? No, I'm not coming. Non, je viens pas. But not here, not here. Say for me, Susie, I'm happy to drink nothing. As in, I'm happy to not drink anything. Yeah? But in French, I'm happy to drink nothing.
Je suis content de...
So you think to yourself, what two words normally would surround a verb for nothing? Yeah? One of them you might not use for reasons we've just discussed. And now put those together before the verb. So je suis content de... To drink nothing. De ne... Lawless. And again, we could pop in a pronoun. I'm happy to say nothing to him. Oh, Luke, go and give him what for? No, do you know what? I'm happy to not say anything to him because, you know, he's Gabby's neighbour and, yeah, he can make a stupid remark. And then whatever, then we've not got anything to undo. Where je suis content de ne rien lui dire? I mean, you can then pop, I'm happy to never give it him. We're stepping into dodgy territory. Where je suis content de ne jamais le lui donner. I mean, you know, it's great, okay? Lovely, excellent, good. Lovely, Susie. Bye. Oh, bye to you, John. Joyeux Noël à toi aussi. So for me, Gabby is happy because she has opened a chair from the packet. Gabby's happy because, not Gabby's happy that, Gabby's happy because she's opened a chair. Off you go, Susie. Now, there's lots I liked about that. The first one was that the palate is dropped. There's none of this thing going on. The second thing is that you didn't stop on the obvious parce que, pause, L, which is ugly as shit. You went parce qu'elle a, and then you thought, right, now I've successfully established that this is a verb in the past. I know my freaking tense. I know it's ella. I know we're not in a be verb or a reflexive verb. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, but it was at that point that you got to it. When you wait, Gabby content parce qu'elle a, and then you thought about it. That's what I liked. Now, however, though, like I was saying, you just gave me the muscle memory that exists for that verb, but not in that place. What is the infinitive to open? Ouvre. Lovely. So that is in your mind. Don't have individual words floating around now at you guys' level. It's too tempting to use them in the wrong place. So what, you give me a sentence where I could use ouvrir with something else. It's all I'll say is it's an infinitive. So it would, you know, how are you going to use an infinitive? So give me a sentence with ouvrir in that would work for you. When do we use an infinitive, in other words? After a what? Another verb. Yeah? Or, so say for me, I'm going to open.
Je vais ouvrir.
Lovely. So in other words, only load a muscle memory in an appropriate context. Is it gorgeous? Yes. Was it the correct pronunciation? Yes. Were the vowels lush? They were. But now at your level, don't let individual things just float around in the ether because they'll drop in and pepper your sentence when you weren't ready for them. So in other words, yeah, or in order to open in yoga, to open the hips, you need to do, pour ouvrir les, les hanches, whatever. Fine. No. So now say for me then, what is I have opened? J'ai ouvert. What's the past tense of open? J'ai ouvert. Okay. What is the window? What is the window is open? La fenêtre est ouverte. That's it. So ouverte is feminine. So what would be ouverte without the hard T? That's your past tense. So say for me, I've opened. So Gabby has opened the chair. How would you say Gabby has opened the chair? Gabby a? Sorry, Susie, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm getting an unstable internet message. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's fine. If you need to turn off the camera, by all means, turn off the camera. Yeah, if you need to turn off camera, that might help. Good. So Gabby has opened the chair. Off you go.
Gabby ouvert la chaise.
Lovely. Now join it up. Don't let it be a series of individual words. Off you go. Don't let it be a series of individual words. Gabby a ouvert la chaise.
Gabby a ouvert la chaise.
Nice. Number one, it sounds better. So can you see from the more advanced, if you're watching Susie going, well, I don't know any of those words, so I would have to go one by one. I get it. But when you're up at this level and, Brian's level, don't give me an individual word on its own because it will drop out of nowhere and it will be a right clanger because you won't need it. Does that make sense? Yeah? Good. Okay. There is lots of plastic in the there is lots of plastic near to the entrance. Yeah, so that, as in Gabby's hallway. So there's lots of plastic near to the entrance.
Il y a beaucoup de plastique près de l'entrée.
That's it. So first things first, gorgeous joining. Secondly, having lots of plastic near her entrance is what gets Gabby through the week. Thirdly, you're not daft. CE words are normally the same in French. What, Susie, is the French for evidence? Same word. What is the word for, let me think, évidence, référence, CE words would tend to be the same. That is just an exception. Good, okay. The kitchen is almost finished. I have difficulty believing it.
La cuisine est presque finie.
Mm-hmm.
J'ai
No. Everybody hates this. Now, let's just put somebody on the spot because somebody, come with me. I'm Trisha Takanawa, roving reporter on South Park. So Gabby, could you just tell me what is the phrasal verb to have difficulties in something? What was that? J'ai du mal à, whatever. Gabby, what is the closest to be no. See the difference? Good. Elle a mal à la tête. What she would do, exactly. C'est smell of plastic. So basically, avoir du mal and avoir mal. Why, bearing in mind one of our intellectual focuses this evening is on muscle memory, why is that freaking vile? Because they're otherwise quite similar. Pardon my crazy hair. So say for me, so give me a sentence, Susie, with j'ai mal. Give me a sentence with j'ai mal, which means I'm in pain. How would you give me a sentence with j'ai mal?
mal à la tête.
Lovely, j'ai mal à la tête. You can also say j'ai un mal de tête, whatever. J'ai mal. Or just on its own, aïe, j'ai mal. Fine. We don't need to ham it up too much, but you could say a humanly appropriate voice thing with it. Good. What can you give me a sentence with j'ai du mal à, and then something you find difficult doing? So yeah, give me a sentence. It could be anything. It could be opening the window. It could be reading this page with the light off, or whatever. Give me something. Give me an appropriate sentence where you can give me a memory for j'ai du mal à. Give me anything. Something you have difficulty doing.
J'ai du mal à conduire dans la nuit.
Lovely. You can say that, or you can also say dans le noir, in the dark. Yeah, but la nuit would work as well. Great, lovely, perfect. So, do you sort of see that? And don't get me wrong, this is not a beginner's project, but you sort of see the urgency of only ever saying a sentence from beginning to the end of the thought. Okay. Oh, sorry, Catherine, but I will see you at some point. I would definitely see you this week, Catherine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, do you see the point I'm trying to make, Susie? Yeah. Good. Lush. Brilliant. Lovely. Well done. Susan, let's pop Susan on, and then we can make a move. Susan, are you there?
Yes.
Right. Lovely. So, say for me, I'm really thirsty. Which is weird because there's less dust. Because Gabby's got a floor in her kitchen now. Hurrah! So I'm really thirsty, which is weird because there's less dust. Pardon me, have you cut your hand? Susan, I will be right back. Gabby's just cut her hand. I'll be right back. I'm absolutely fine. Gabby's just got a bit of an accident. 1 sec. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Let's get it.
Ryan. Bonjour. Got the Uncle Leaky treatment. It will definitely make me a better French speaker. Well, it will for sure. I'm proud of you for coming. Yeah, thank you for having me. It's intimidating, but I'm excited to get back to it next week, Susie, Brian is my youngest son's, one of his roommates. I miss Susie. Here. Susie, I think your microphone's on, maybe. Thank you. Turn the camera and the mic off. Actually, it's less intimidating when you haven't got the camera on. Yeah, it is. I might just do that next time. And Susie, what part of England do you live in, Susie? I'm currently in London. In London? Yeah. So we're locked down. Yeah. Nowhere to go. How about you guys? Are you? We're both in Atlanta still, and we can go around and do whatever we want. Oh, you're kidding. You lucky things. Well, but the teacher in the classroom next to me, though, found out she had COVID on Friday. Yeah. Now I was with her, I was around her, but we both had masks on. So according to the CDC, I wasn't really exposed, but I'm not leaving my house for like 5 days just because I want to be careful, just in case. Right. I got it. But otherwise, unless you're quarantining because you've been exposed, yeah, you can go do anything. I'm going to turn my camera off again because I've got a really terrible connection tonight. I'm getting an unstable message. I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. No, it's a nightmare. I had to do a mad dash last night to drop my kids' present. Well, kids, they're in their 20s, but do the present run and everyone's separate. People just cramming the tube stations and the trains and all sorts of things, just trying to get out. It's crazy. But, I kind of get it because there's been no notice. Yeah. That's scary. So you can't, you can go maybe to the grocery store or something, but you can't do any, what are the limitations? Literally, that's it. We can do that. I'm actually in London with my mother at the moment because she's elderly and in remission from cancer. And my husband's on the Isle of Wight, so we're going to spend Christmas apart. So it's a little bit of a nightmare. Yes. Yeah, so we're gonna have a Zoom Christmas. Children going to be with you or your husband? Sorry? Are any of your children going to be with you or your husband? No, we're not allowed. Literally one household at a time. So, who's this? Best friend. Sorry, his dog is jumping on. Oh, bless. You see Daisy right here? I saw your dog earlier. She's gorgeous. Oh, merci. Oh, how old is Daisy? She just turned 3 in November. Oh, bless her. She's gorgeous. Thank you. Great chill-looking doggy. Mine is stuck in my home on the island. So you live on, you said, the Isle of Wight? Yeah, my husband and I bought a place in the Isle of Wight, which is a little island just off. Okay. So, Yeah, it's gorgeous. We're renovating that at the moment, and well, so I'm kind of stuck between the two right now, which is a bit of a pain, but we're going to move my mum over there, so we'll be sorted hopefully in the new year.
How long is it going to last, the lockdown?
Do you know, I don't know, they're going to make decisions on the 30th of December.
Wow. That's a long time from now, it seems.
Yeah, but they're talking about January, February as well, so you guys are so lucky. So you can literally just walk around as normal.
Well, we have to wear. That's it.
Oh gosh, well we were like that up until a few weeks ago. Funnily enough, we're different tiers though. On the island where my husband is, it's tier 1, so he can still go out for a meal and go to the shops. But in London, we can't even leave the house unless we want groceries.
And it's ranked tier 1, 2, 3, and I thought I saw an article about a tier 4 or something, maybe.
Yeah, that's where we are in London, tier 4. So there are these jokes going around about, you know, tier 5, you won't even be allowed on Zoom, you know.
So do you, if you are out and about, can they give you like a citation or something?
Well, they're talking about ridiculous fines and things, but I don't know how they can police it, to be honest, because, you know, there are all these, like for instance, I'm looking after my mother, so effectively, if I want to, I can go back to the island because I'm, you know, it is a bubble. It's all very confusing, but I can't see my kids. It's crazy. It's crazy. The whole world has gone mad, hasn't it? But you know, this too shall pass. I hope.
Because it's a different strain of the COVID. Is that what?
Yeah, they're saying it's no more dangerous, but apparently it's passing through very quickly. You know, it's much more contagious.
I think I did see something about that.
Yeah.
It's like it just goes boom anyway. It's so fast.
I know. So it is worrying. It's, you know, it's also people's mental health is also worrying. I think it's you know, feel sorry for these elderly people having to spend Christmas alone. And
I actually made Megan, my daughter, I was talking with her yesterday, I made her promise me that if this ever happens and I'm old, that she's going to.
Why are we speaking in English, bitches? Why? Just a quick question. Why? Any idea why? Why are people capable, perfectly capable French speakers like Susan and Susie? My gosh, when the cat's away, the mice fuck about. Gabby had got an agrafe, a staple. So she'd not only had it gone into her finger, but you know, it goes up and then back down. So it had literally gotten like, so she was literally hooked like a fish, like with a staple. Poor thing, it must have been so sore. So I just amputated the finger because I thought, well, 10 is an even number and 2020 is an odd year. So yeah, good, lovely. Back to Susan. Good, you've got each other's WhatsApps. You can talk in English as much as you bloody want. French, right. Lovely. So over to Susan. Gabby's just hurt herself. Now, I understand the lui faire mal exists in good French, but if Gabby's doing it to Gabby, not lui faire mal, Gabby vient de... That's it. Do we understand? Gabby hurt somebody else. Gabby vient de lui faire mal. Yeah, fine, but Gabby vient de se faire mal. Okay, good. I removed her finger because it was easier than removing the staple. I removed her finger because it was easier than removing the staple. Yes, c'était plus facile que d'enlever l'agrafe. Okay. Good. Okay. Do we honestly think the word staple in French is going to be staple? So how would you say the little bits of metal? Good. Now I'm liking the use of anything other than partie. For my mind, bit is ever such a niche thing. I did do a video on bit. I think you one of the people I mentioned it to this week, Susan. So bit could be tranche, bout, morceau, partie. It's such a useful little word to have. Coup, un coup. Lovely. I would say le petit bout de métal. Okay. She bled a lot, which is normal when you've lost a finger. Pause. Sanglé is like sanglot, like éclaté en sanglot, like sobs. Saigner. Yeah, like with steak. So when we talk about, what do we talk about in steak? Like, so we have bleu, yeah, which is blue, yeah, like saignant, which is bleeding. Yep, sorry, vegans, or new vegans after hearing about that. Yeah, so basically bleu, saignant. Is it terrible that makes me hungry? I'm such a vampire. So bad. So bleu and saigne. So saigner, ça saigne. Le sang, ça saigne. Okay, good. So she bled a lot, and again, lovely. Okay, which is normal when you've lost a finger. Can't on are going to link how? Cantona. Now, what I'm liking about that is that you dove. Dove, is that the correct? Yes, it is the past tense. English is hard. You dove, dived. You dove for the depth of the one vowel, and then you came back up for the perdu. But like I was telling your friend Brian, can you give me that in one long sentence? Yeah, as in, can you go long across the whole thing? Don't compromise the depth. Don't compromise the height. Quand on a, just said me quand on a perdu. So in the same sentence, it's almost a bit like, you know, you're going to hear two different voices, kind of like, it's almost like one person can speak with two different voices at the same time. Oh, it reminds me of my ex-marriage. So basically, he cray. So basically, like, on a perdu. So you've got the en and the et at the same time, the sharpness. Yes, on a perdu. That's it. Close your mouth a bit more. Quand on a perdu. Mr. and Mrs. Quand on a perdu. Lovely. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Okay. What is a canton? Any idea what a canton is? In Switzerland, in French Switzerland, the different small counties and administrations are different cantons. Like that's yeah. It's not bad to know non-French culture if it's francophone. So obviously there are other languages in Switzerland. You know, there's like Romansh and obviously Italian and all this kind of stuff. But like, yeah. What's the other really useful thing about non-France that you guys need to know? Do we know the numbers in non-France French-speaking? So have we ever spoken about septante and octante and nonante? Have we ever spoken about those? So some countries, I'll leave you to Google this as a project, Susan, but some countries don't use the weirdest shit French number system. So they'll use an even increasingly decimalized system. So like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, we're good to there. 70, 80, 90. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Which is why you should trust a Swiss banker and not a French banker. Yeah. Yeah, 99, 99, 99. Yeah. Yeah, because I've got a friend called Alain. In fact, I was telling Gabby about him today. We used to spend Christmases at his house. He's totally French. He's like totally French. He grew up in France. He went to a chef school in France. He's totally French. He married a Swiss citizen who speaks Swiss German as a first language, but her dad was from Calabria, so she also speaks Italian. She's a lovely girl. And basically, he says, vous les Français, you the French. I'm like, bitch, you've been in Switzerland 6 years. And he says 90. And he's like, oh, it's because I'm so Swiss. I'm like, no, because you live in a German-speaking part of Switzerland. You don't even say 90 where you live, so don't give me that crap. So yeah, 90, 70, 80, 90. You will come across them. Good. I hope she's got some blood left. Talking about Gabby, I hope she's got some blood left. No, that's not bad French, but what is my business I want with left? How do you say, I've got how many days before Christmas? How many sleeps before Christmas, people? I've got what, 4? I've got 5 days. I've got 5 days left before Christmas. Il me faut good muscle memory, but not faut. Il me reste. That's it. Now calm it down. Il me reste. Good. So by all means, say it in that way to get it, but then don't ever leave it on that. Because if you're speaking in a non-normal way, and then Susan, being Susan in her normal French level, will speak in a normal way, you ain't going to have the muscle memory. Yes, il me reste. Ouais, il me reste. Lovely. So I hope she's got some blood left. J'espère. Now we keep doing this. What have we established the il reste, il manque, il faut sentences all start with? What word did they start with? Great. Nice high up il. What is the next word? If choosing it a pronoun, yeah? What is the pronoun that's going there? Indi-fucking-rect. Not il se reste. What does the il mean? If I said I've got a chair left, il me reste une chaise. Which word in that sentence gives me I? What word in the sentence? So I have a chair left. Il me reste une chaise. Which word in the il me reste une chaise represents I? Thank you. Which word in the il me reste une chaise represents the chair? I can't hear you. You vanished. What word represents a chair? Susan, turn your camera off. Susan, turn your camera off. Right. So yeah, the word. That's right. So what does the il represent? It. Non-relatable thing. It to me remains a chair. It doesn't mean jack shit. So why then do we say il se? Why are you making it all about the il? Yeah, it's all about the il. Good, Susan. Excellent. Lovely. Good. Excellent. A couple more. I hope she's got some blood left then. So go again. I hope she's got some blood left. Close your mouth. It's too busy still. It's not bad. Throw it away. J'espère qu'il throw it away. J'espère qu'il lui reste du sang. Okay, good, okay. Lovely. I could give her mine, but then she would become a vampire. I could give her. Le mien. Yeah. She would become. You've got a bit of muscle memory going on because you're thinking of that tense and you're thinking of the stuff. What's the verb to become, Susan? To become, not to be. Devenir. So could you pop that in the conditional? She would become. That's it, devient, but don't. Now, the speaking quickly, and then there's hiding the fact that you don't know the vowel in a word. Say for me, Luke saying, say for me, I would come, je viendrai. Say, je viendrai. Your mouth knows that, no problem. Pop a d up its ass. Say for me, I would come. I would become, je deviendrai. That's it. Say it a couple of times because that's not comfortable for. No, it's comfortable, but it's not embedded. I forget. Where je deviendrai? Go on. Look. There's some crap going on here. Maybe it's like, bine, biniste, bino, binimos, binistes, whatever. There might be something going on with Spanish and bin, but I don't want it. Deviendrai, go on. That's it. Deviendrai. Bien. Good. Lovely. So elle deviendrait vampire. Incidentally, on the topic of mien and mien, like if you were watching something a bit archaic and a vampire was like, you are mine, then you would use mien and mien. You'd say, vous êtes mienne. Because they do tend to vous voir some chick that are about to drink the blood off. Well, they did archaically. Like, it's interestingly, yeah, it was just called weird cultural stuff. Vous êtes mienne, you are mine. Yeah, good. Lovely. Great. Well done, Susan. Good job. Let's go to Deborah. Deborah, are you there? Bye, not at all. Deborah, are you there? Well, I'm sorry, Deborah, your hair has seriously cheered me up. Do you know what I mean? You look so damn nice. I just like the little pop of, little color around there as well. That's just, yeah. My daughter would go insane because, the mustardy color of your, sort of sweater and the green, they're her holy grail colors. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Her third is fuchsia, and you're working a bit of a fuchsia lip. So yeah. You made her very happy. Yeah, she loves that. She loves mustard with like a forest green and a fuchsia. They're her three. They're her three, like, you know, they're her three colors. Yeah, I know, she's cool. Lovely, good. Off you go, Deborah. Quick, rough. What's the level? What rough level are you at?
I think I would say almost. I want to say advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, off you go. So say for me, my name's Deborah. Translate for me, my name's Deborah. Lovely, nice. Deborah, I love people who are open to saying their own name a better way. There's nothing wrong with saying je m'appelle Deborah. You don't have to make it francophone, but it's nice, okay? Lovely, okay. Where do you live? Lovely. Calgary, je la connais bien. Ouais, je la connais bien. Ouais. Careful. Look at me. One thing you have, which is gorgeous, and I'm not saying anything against the absolutely disgusting, ugly accents of French Canada. I'm not saying anything at all cruel or mean against the hideous, ugly accent of French Canadians. I would not say anything so rude against that ugly, hideous accent. Honestly, it is not for me to say that hideous, ugly accent shouldn't be used. But, no, I'm joking. But the fact is, you haven't got that. What you've got is a very classic. You don't go to the "ni" of French Canada. But don't go too far, so there are different nasals. So don't go yon, c'est je viens. So say for me bien, c'est bien. Good. So not, okay, so say for me yon, vient. Yeah, so make sure that the location, because it's kind of like a totem pole, like the location of the vibration of bien is different than yon. All right. So say for me bien. That's it, not bien. Good. So now say je viens. That's it. Good. Don't look up. Looking up means you're visualizing. Okay. Je viens. Good. All right. Lovely. Excellent. So what was I going to say? Tell me why you want to improve your French. Dis-moi pourquoi tu veux améliorer ton français. Look at me. You're good. This is what I want you to do. Look at me. You could more than likely answer with the Scrabble letters method. The Scrabble, you ever played Scrabble where you've got those letters, you've got to make a word? The Scrabble letters method is like, okay, I've got some vocab. I could kind of make a sentence out of this, and I'm sure you pull that off. What we want for you now, because you're clearly doing really well, is I want you to be your own teacher. So I want you to say, you're clearly articulate, you clearly speak very well. So say in English the whole Deborahized version of the sentence. So don't cut back, don't think, and I'll be honest with you, Deborah, this is what happens. People go, I'll say, right, say something in English and then go into French. And this is what they do. They go, I'm going to the park. And I'm like, what the hell? Before I asked them to do this, they'll be like, oh, do you know what? I was really tired this morning, but I thought I'm going to go and do my military fitness session in the park. But the minute I say, right, you're going to translate what you say yourself, suddenly everybody becomes a first grader. So can you, as Deborah, with your normal tone of voice, set yourself the challenge of saying your sentence in English, then going into French? For two reasons. Firstly, this will give yourself a little idea of where you are in terms of bilingual status. And secondly, it will teach you some neat tricks on how to go around stuff. So you'll be like, okay, I don't actually quite know how to say that, so I can think of a way to go around it. So let me hear as full Deborah. It's not me patronizing you, asking you in English. It's so that you can give me full Deborah. So as full Deborah, don't even think about the French. So tell me, why do you want to improve your French? Just tell me in English. Pause. I forgot. So I love a tangent. That's cool. So Stephanie, I want to improve my French. Yeah, that'd be interesting. So you're translating Deborah now. So I want to improve my. This is what you said. I want to improve my French. Good, because Canada's bilingual. Pause. Now, strictly speaking, trilingual. Let's not ignore First Nation. But the fact is, yeah. That's right. But the fact is, this is a weird word because you've got language, long, but the word for bilingual, yeah, it's a bilingue. So for me, bilingue. Yeah, and now we can say trilingue. Because it's got 3 official languages, hasn't it? Yeah. Good, lovely. Good. Don't know one word of that other language, but it's completely accepted. Right. So basically, yeah. So in other words, parce que Canada, c'est un pays. I like that. So Canada, c'est un pays trilingue. Lovely. Back to the English. So carry on. Why? Keep talking to me. Pause. This is exactly my point, because Deborah speaks in full sentences. So off you go. Your thought was, I want to be able to use my French professionally because it will give me an advantage when I'm applying for jobs. Go. Pause. Dans un cadre au haut niveau professionnel, or a basic adverb professionnellement, because it will give me an advantage. Pause. Look at me. Which do you prefer in French? Speaking, listening, reading? What's your weakest and what's your strongest?
My weakest is speaking, because I don't get as much practice as I'd like.
Right. So
I'm listening to French all the time.
Right. So what I need you to do is the speaking, you've really got to enjoy the time that you speak, and you've got to really try and form these memory patterns. So I need it to join up. Yeah, I need it to join up. So I don't need you to put pauses between words, because also, I tell you what else it does. It does 3 things. It shortens the vowel, and it stops me hearing your humanity. You've got a nice voice. I can hear soprano in your voice, and I can hear alto in your voice. Your natural speaking voice is very nicely placed. So the fact is, but when you go blip, 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 and you pop a few pauses in, Deborah's voice goes quite short, and we don't hear Deborah's vowels. So can you put it together? Oui, ça me donnera un avantage. Go and give it me all in one go. Pause. This is the sentence. Look at me for a second. Say for me, so let's go with, I would like to improve my French because it will give me an advantage. Let's just say that. Je voudrais améliorer mon français parce que ça me donnera un avantage. Pause. Can you say the same sentence now? I'm going to say this, and you're going to tell me the mood. Ouais, mais je voudrais améliorer mon français parce que ça me donnera un avantage. Happy, sad, what is it? Excited. Sarcastic, which is a color that I wear well, I will be honest. Je voudrais améliorer mon français parce que ça me donnera un avantage. Tu penses, tu rigoles, tu te fous de ma gueule? So, in other words, Brenda is one of these, I apologize. Deborah is one of these people who's basically, you've got a damn good vocab, and you're smart, and your trick is, I'll always look up another word and I'll learn another word. Don't lose your human story. It's the #1 communicator that you've got. Yeah? So take the sentence, say for me, don't worry, I'm going to do it. Vous voir the person, vous voir, that means use them, vous with them. Vous voir them, and could you say, don't worry, I'm going to do it. Just say for me, in neutral French, say, don't worry, I'm going to do it. Lovely. Now, don't let me hear any ups and downs. Make it be smooth. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to practice that method, which is when there's nothing stressed. Ne vous inquiétez pas, je vais le faire. Ne vous inquiétez pas, je vais le faire. Go on. Lovely. Now, that's good practice for you because it is like literally like a gym where you can see how fast you can go. Yeah? Good. Now, I'd like you to take that sentence and I'd like you to say it really like, oh, well, don't you worry, I'm going to do it. And so when a guy says the worst thing a guy can ever say to the woman, what's wrong? Do you know what I mean? Or what have I done? Okay, so I'd basically like you to say, oh, mais ne vous inquiétez pas, je vais le faire. Be pissed off. That's like, don't worry, it would have been nice for a cup of tea, but you didn't make me one. Be pissed off. Let me hear it. That's lovely. What does that do? It solves your rhythm. You sound more bilingual. And we need the... Okay, here's some words. So here's some emotions without words. Ah, Deborah. Before I bring in the word. Oh, Deborah. Shit, I forgot about her. Damn. Oh, Deborah. So the sound is everything, yeah? So you don't want to be... You dress cool. You don't want to be that boring bitch at a dinner party that's like, oh, I really want to practice my French with you guys. Oh, God, it's Deborah. That Debbie Down on Saturday Night Live. Be human for me, yeah? We can't lose Deborah. You know, it's just like, We hate you. Beautiful skin, beautiful hair, beautiful clothes, beautiful level of French. They hate you. There's women here now who are literally fashioning a voodoo doll and they're sticking their shiz in it thinking of you. But we can't lose Deborah along the way because you're thinking about the grammar. All right? So whatever should I give you now, I want the appropriate, so match the English. What did I say? Match the English. What does Deborah say in the English? Fucking human sentences that have a human quality. That's what I want in the French. People always do this. I'm really happy to see you, Luke. Je suis très content de te voir, Luke. Do you know? It's like, yeah. All right, good, carry on. Okay. Have you thought about sitting any formal exams? Have you thought about sitting any formal exams? Could you just translate that sentence for me? Have you thought about sitting any formal exams? You don't, Deborah, you don't need to vous voir me. I'm chill as shit. I'm a chill. Yeah. Brett, arrête de parler comme ça. Give me a smooth quality. Look. That's step one. Good. Look. So that's step one is you acknowledge it needs to link. Step two is to not open the mouth. You went, est-ce que tu as right. Est-ce que tu as considered? It's too muscular. Yeah? It's too muscular. So in other words, could you keep your mouth nicely soft? Yeah? Est-ce que tu, it can still go up and down. There's lots of information going on there, but not with the muscles here. Est-ce que tu as considéré, est-ce que vous avez jamais pensé à, est-ce que vous avez jamais, you know, whatever, okay? Off you go. So have you ever considered passing, have you ever considered sitting any exam, professional exam? Lovely, est-ce que tu as considéré, yeah, est-ce que tu as jamais pensé à, as opposed to penser de? Good, so answer me. Tell me in English. As in with French as a goal. So have you ever thought of doing any exams for the French? What have you done?
No, because we don't really have the equivalent. I think it's called I'm forgetting what the exam is called in Europe, but we don't really have that in Canada.
Pause. Lovely. I love you because you speak in tangents. You start and then you justify it and then you go somewhere else. I love it. I can't stand patronizing sentences. It's good. So no, I haven't thought about it. So my question was, est-ce que tu as jamais pensé à? So first off, don't think I'm a meanie. This is your translation. You said this. So no, I've never thought about it. Yeah, you translated. Yeah, no, I've never thought about it. Da. What is the pronoun needed if your verb has an a in it? E, letter Y. Non, j'y ai jamais pensé. Why is penser a son of a bitch? Because it can be penser, penser à, penser de. Which one did I use there? Penser. So, Deborah, what do you think about whatever? Zara, Europe's fall-winter line in ladies' coats. What do you think about it? Qu'est-ce que tu en penses? Qu'est-ce que tu penses de whatever? De and on the pronoun. What is it going to be if it's, have you thought about whatever teaming that with a so-and-so? Est-ce que tu as pensé à? So what's the pronoun going to be? E. Yeah? Say for me, no, I've never thought about it. J'y ai jamais pensé. Look at me. Nice nails, nice manicure. Put your hands down because you are visualizing. Look at Auntie Luki. Say for me, j'ai pensé. Say j'y ai pensé. J'y ai jamais pensé. And in an interview, je n'y ai jamais pensé. Nice ear, nice copy, and we didn't need to do this. All right, okay. I've just cut one woman's finger off. Don't make me cut another one. All right. Lovely. All right. Non, j'y ai jamais pensé. Because say for me, I don't think we've got the same. I don't think we've got the same system as in Europe. I don't think that we've got the same system as in Europe. Pause. Lukey's loving the use of en. Lukey's loving the use of en. Why, though, is that grammatically incorrect? If I told you it was subjunctive, would you be able to tell me why? Or would you know what the subjunctive? I mean, I'm imagining if you've got the level of French that you've got, but you've not got a grasp of the subjunctive, that wouldn't be that surprising because it's not heavily pushed in North America as a general rule. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. Je pense pas qu'on est. Pause. Look at me. Have you just learned some grammar? So the brain, listen, the brain here knows it. Does the mouth know it? Just say it to me a few times. Je pense pas qu'on est. Good. Say to me, I don't think he's ready. Imagine you're talking about some dude. I don't think he's ready. Just as we know, men are never. It's always women mating for men, obviously, because clearly that's the way the world works. So say for me, because men take so long to get ready, and whereas women are just ready in a heartbeat, obviously. So say for me, the non-gender binary hipster lot will massively move. They'll be like, Luke, you so old world. So say for me, I don't think he's ready. So I don't think he's ready. There we go. Go again. Great. Listen to me. Another thing I'd like you to listen to is, so you're going to join. So it's a little bit like Brian at the beginning, but just a little bit further at the pole. So it's basically, I want you to join. I don't want you to lose the depth and the height of the vowel work, though, in going smoothly. So I don't want you to be like, right, Luke's tried to get me to go in one long line, so I'm going to do that. If you're then going to lose the height of the vowel, could you do what everybody else does with me? Don't feel a fool. There's no one laughing at your French here. You sound fantastic. Could you please say for me, woo? No, there was only about 3 notes there. Go down and all the way up. Woo. Better. That's what you need in French. You throw it to go, it's not hitting notes, it's the sliding between different vowels. So even if you go quickly and smoothly across this sentence, I need those vowels in. Good. This is what I want you to do prescriptively. I want you to record yourself talking to somebody, like whatever. Literally transcribe it. You know, you could literally record yourself in a conversation with somebody. Don't think about what you're saying. And then I want you to press play with that on another like phone or, you know, like a computer or something that's got some voice recognition technology that'll then just pretty much transcribe what you're saying. You've got a very clear turn of phrase in English, and I've got no doubt whatsoever that it would pick it up nicely. So in other words, you're going to end up with a transcription of just the conversation between you and somebody else, okay? And then I want you to start translating Deborah level. I want you to divide it not into grammatical pieces. I want you to divide into the thought. So one thought could be, Luke is weird, but he's efficient. Or one thought could be, Luke is weird. He is efficient. I mean, the thought is up to you. It could be, I know Luke is weird, and I kept saying I was going to try and get in contact, but I've always been busy on a Sunday, but this Sunday I was fine. It doesn't matter what the length of the thought is, but that is what you've got to practice saying in one go with the appropriate human quality. And you will honestly find that these things right now sound like cherries on top of the cake, like extra shit. It's actually what's going to help you really start stockpiling some serious, hardcore phraseology, phrasal verb, and whatever. But along the way, please, gorgeous girl, let's not use Deborah. Let's not lose Deborah. Yeah, we don't want to lose Deborah. All right? Good. Well bloody done. See you soon. Best wishes, all right? Well done, everybody. Nobody's in any obligation at all whatsoever, but if you did find it useful, people, do remember that I do have a Ko-fi account, K-O-F-I. It would be much appreciated. There is a very good legal letter video coming up very, very soon, which is quite good for the advanced amongst you because it's dead formal French, weirdly combined with incredibly emotional French. More on that soon. All right, guys, please stay safe. If you're in the London or the southeast area of England, oh my gosh, like big hug to you, and by all means WhatsApp me and let's just cry together. All right, speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.